This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So what is the command to check the user, current working user? VMI. So this command gives you the output of the current working user. Currently we are in the root user home directory, right? Let's say I want to create one directory inside the user home directory. Okay. To create the directory, we are using mkdir. Mkdir means make directory. Mkdir is a command. After that, give your directory name. You can give the directory name whatever you want. I am just giving the directory name as project. This is my directory name. So the directory is created, right? How we can verify that? To verify the information in your current directory or any other directory, we are using a command as ls. ls means long list. Okay, just hit ls. See, inside this user home directory, we have various files and directories. But how we can identify what is file and what is directory? So the colored one which you are showing here, these all are the directories. This white color, these all are the files, normal files. There are the different type of files. We'll discuss it later. These are the files. Okay. See, this is the directory which we created. Okay. Now, this time I want to change this directory. Currently, I am inside this user home directory. Now, I want to change my directory to project. To change the directory, we are using the command as cd. Cd means change directory and specify your directory name. Okay. Now, just type pwd. PWD means present working directory. They'll give you the information currently your working directory. Okay. Now this time I want to create uh, one more directory. What is the command to create the directory? Okay, mkdir and directory name, right? You can take the directory name whatever we want. I'm taking the directory name as just dir. How we can verify that? ls ls. Okay. See, or create a directory. Let's say first we created this project directory, after that we created this dir directory, right? This time I want to create a directory inside the directory. Let me show you that. One project one slash dir2. I want to create this project directory and also I want to create this dir2 directory at it. So here first we want to create this directory and after that we want to change the directory and we can create this directory too. That is the one method. And second one is you can use -p parent directory structure. Just hit enter. See, the directory is created. Project one. Project one is created. But where is this dir2? Where this dir2 is created? This dir2 is created inside this project one. Because here you specified -p. -p means parent directory structure. Okay. The parent directory of this dir2 is project one. Less project. Let's say you want to see the information, you want to see the list of files and directories in the current working directory. We are just using the ls. Suppose here I have one directory that is the project one. Without changing this directory, I want to see what are the files and directories available inside this project one. So then give just ls and your directory name. Then it will show you the information available inside this project one. Okay, this dir2 is created inside the project one, right? This is how we can see the information. See, along with the ls, we can use various options. Okay, the very first one I'm using as ls space -l. Just hit enter. When you use the ls space -l, it will give you the long list of the files and directories. This entire thing is a long list of the file and directory. But what is this information? See, the very first one is which is started with the D. It means that is a directory. Okay. Let me do one thing. To create an empty file, we are using the command as touch. Touch is a command to create an empty file. File name as file. I just given. Okay. Now just go with the ls space hyphen l. The file which is started with the D, that is a directory. Directory is just like a folder. See, in your Windows also it's a directory. Anywhere it's a directory. But in the GUI, you are calling it as a folder. That's it. Just remember that. In your Windows, Mac, wherever it is. Every place this is a directory. The files and directories which you are storing, that is a directory. But in the GUI method, the way you are using the GUI, in the GUI, this is the GUI, graphical user interface. In the GUI, the system will allow the users to control his system with help of cursor or mouse. Okay. Suppose let's say I want to create one directory here. Here also it's directory. But in the graphical use, you are calling it as a folder. That's it. The folder is created. Now you can store the files and the folder inside this, right? Let's take the same one. See, now I am in the PowerShell in my Windows command line. Here also I am using the same. Let me do desktop. Okay, I'm already here. Okay, dir project and zip it. So just hit enter. See, currently I am in the C drive. Here also I used mkdir command to create a folder. Let's come to the C drive. Let me show you that. User users. See, project Ansible is created. The same command is worked in your Windows. So anywhere it is your directory. Your Windows or Linux, wherever it is. But in the graphical user, you are calling it as a folder. That's it. Okay. So the file which is started with the D, that is a directory. Okay. But what about this? This RWX, RFNS, what is this? See, these all are the permissions of this directory. Every file and directory having some permissions in your. We have a dedicated session for this permissions. We'll discuss it. And see, here you have the dot, right? When you applied the ACL permissions, there are the different type of permissions. When you applied the access control list permissions, then this dot will replace. That we'll see. And these two, what about these two? What about this one? And what about these three? In your system, every file, sorry, in your system, every file and directory, okay, whatever you created, your system in the background, your system creates the hard links for that file and directory. So this two is a hard link of this directory. We'll discuss what is hard link. And what about this root and the root? The first one is owner of the file. Owner means the file who created, he is the owner. And also this is the group owner of the file. And this is the timestamp of that file when this file is created. Okay. And by end, this is the name of that file. Dir is a directory. And if you see this here, it is started with the hyphen. If any file started with the hyphen, it means it is a normal file. In your system, you have different types of files. If you see with your Windows operating system, all your operating system information will be stored inside the C drive, right? When it comes to the Linux, it cannot store all the information in the one place. It will split that information into different directories. Your CPU information, it will store in one directory. Your RAM information, it will store in one directory. Your system process information, it will store in one directory, right? Likewise, we have the different directories. The resources will be stored. That we'll discuss. So the file which is started with the hyphen, it is a normal file. Okay, and it is started with the D, it is directory. Okay, let's say Here I created one file. Okay. You see, along with the ls, you can use various options. But how we should know? How we can know that? In your system, every command having one command line documentary in your Linux operating system. Let's say ls is a command. If you hit the ls, it will just show you the available files and directories. It will not show you more than anything. Okay, but along with the ls, you can use various options. But how we know about those options? Just go with the man. Man is a command. It will take you through the command line documentary. Let's say just ls. This is the command, right? I want to see the command line documentary of this ls. Just use the man. This man also a command. Just hit enter. See, this is the command line documentary. This entire thing is a command line documentary of the command. Not only this command, every command having the documentary. ls, list directory content. Okay, ls and the option and the file name. Description, list information about the files, the current directory by default. With help of ls command, what we can do, we can list the information about the files. By default, you can see the information about your current directory. Sort entries alphabetical, none of the, there are different options. See, some of the mandatory options we should use. Mandatory arguments too, long options for a mandatory for a short options too. Let's say I want to see the hidden files and directories. In your system, lot of hidden files are there. I want to see the hidden files. To see the hidden files, we are using -a option. Along with the ls, we should use -a. Then it will display the hidden files and directories. And also you can use -A. Do not list limited and dot dot. See, in your system, some files are started with the dot in every user home directory. Okay. Some dot files or directories are there. These just an empty directories. Nothing is there inside these directories. If you don't want to display those directories, you can use -a, -A. If you use the small a along with this dot dot dot, it will display you the all the information. But I don't want to see this dot 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 dot. Then I can use A. Then it will show you hidden files and it will not show you this dot dot dot. Okay. Likewise, you can use various options. See, we have the different options. One thing, one is you can use the short option -a. This is the short option. Or another one is you can use the long option -all. Both will give you the same output. One is short option and another one you can use long option. Likewise, there's a lot of information in this document, various options and other information. Okay, exit codes. This we'll discuss tomorrow, not today. And author of this file. Okay, author of this documentary. And if you have any bugs, you can go this site to report that bugs and copyrights everything. Okay, this is one prompt. If you want to quit from here, just use Q to quit from this prompt. Just use Q in your keyboard. That's it. And again, it will take you through your command line. We seen one option, right? ls space -l. This time, I want to see the latest created files from the top. Okay, just use ls space -lt. This is the latest created, right? How we can verify based on the timestamp, it will display the files based on the timestamp. This time, I want to see the latest created files from the bottom. Use ls space ltr. Okay, ls space ltr. Is it displaying the latest created files? Is showing in the bottom? How will display these files? Based on the timestamp, your system will display these files. Okay. Now let's say inside this project you have one directory, right? Let's assume. Let me do one thing. Let's say inside this project one I have some information. Okay, I have some directories and the files. If I hit the ls project one, it will just show you the directories which is available inside this project one. But inside this dir2 also we have some directories and the files. Okay, if you want to see those files, you can specify the complete path project. After that, see this backslash represent inside the directory of this project one. Okay, project one and dir2. Just hit ls. Is it in the files? Right. The same as inside this ex200 also we have some file. Right. Inside this ex200 also we have some file. But is it showing any file? If you want to see that file, use ls. Right. Is it displaying? But this is not the right way. See, for one or two files we can use that command. If you have the more files, if you have the more directories, then that command won't help you. In that case, we are using the command as tree. If you use the command tree, it will show you the files and directories in the tree structure. That's it. This is the directory. I want to see the files and directories inside this project one in the tree structure. See, let's try to understand this. The project one is a parent directory. The directories and the files which you have inside this, these all are inside this project one. This is like, just like a branching structure. Inside this project one, you have this dir2. Inside this dir2, you have this rhcsa. The same as inside this project, you have the ex200. Inside this ex200, you have the file. Total, you have the three directories, one file. Clear? Let's say this time I want to create one hidden file or hidden directory. Okay, let me create one hidden directory. Directory name I am taking as cause. I'm just taking the directory name as cause. So if I hit the enter, it will create the directory in my current working directory and that to normal directory. But I want to create it as a hidden. In that case, specify the dot. So the file or directory which is started with the dot, that is a hidden file. Just hit enter. Just hit ls. Is it showing here? It's not showing here, right? But how we can see that information? Ls space hyphen a. So this time, is it showing you this? Right? See, before when I use the ls space hyphen a, it will display this dot dot. But when I use capital A, it will displaying only the files and directories. Likewise, you can create the files also, files also. But what is the advantage with these hidden files? If you have any sensitive information, if you have any of your password information, in that case, you can store that information inside these hidden files. That is the recommended thing. Let's say this is the user. This user wants to store his password in his home directory or somewhere. This user directly store his password inside this like a normal directory. Anyone can see that information. Anyone can easily identify that information. Okay, or else user can use the hidden files. It is take some time to identify that information. Okay, so this is the recommended thing if you have any sensitive information, any system configuration information or your password information, right?
సాయి ఒకసారి సింగిల్ డాట్ డబల్ డాట్ కింద ఒకసారి చెప్పారు మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి.
See, nothing is there for the single dot. You don't have anything inside the single dot or double dot. Okay, this is just like directory. If you go inside this is the current directory representation. Okay, let's say I am in the project directory. I want to change it to this dir. How we can change? cd dir, right? pwd, where we are in the dir. Again, I want to move to my project directory. I want to go to my project directory. So the project directory is one step back, right? This is the project directory. Inside this we have dir. We are inside the dir. The project directory is only one step back for me. So in that case, I can use cd dot dot. To use the cd dot dot from the current directory, it will take you through the one step back. Dot means current directory. If you specified one more dot, okay, it will take you through the one step back from the current directory. Do you got it? Dot means, suppose let's say, sorry, cd dot. cd dot means it is representing your current directory. Only your current directory. With help of dot, we can do some things. We'll see that. As of now, just remember this is a current directory. I just want to move one step back. Mute your device. Or mute your device. Okay. cd dot. This is just in current directory. So if we want to go to one step back, use cd dot dot. So then it will take you through the one step back from the current directory. Just hit LSC. Came to project directory, right? We came to project directory. Again, if you want to go, use cd and dir. Right? This time, I want to move to home directory. I am in the dir directory. Where this home directory? Root. Okay. In this case, first you can go inside this directory cd dot dot. You can use this command one step back. Again, you can go to one step back, step by step. You can use that one, or directly you can use the cd. If you use the cd directly, it will take you through the user home directory. Wherever the directory you are working, directly it will take you through the user home directory. Just trigger it. So currently we are in the user home directory, right? Let's get inside that project again. See, as of now we work with the different commands, right? I want to see what are the commands and files I used in this project. In that case, just use history. History will store by default 500 commands. Whatever the command you use, it will store by default 500 commands. Just history. Okay, see, it will store. But what is the advantage with it? These are the reusable. Let's say I am here in the user home directory. Okay, I want to move to the directory project. I want to move to the directory project. One way is you can use the CD, but another way is you can use the command number from the history. But how we can use? Start with the exclamatory marks and specify your number of the command. 293. When you specify the number, your system will execute this command. Execute this command. Now again we are in the project. Here. Okay, let's go to user home directory. Let's say you want to go to the dir directory inside the project. First we go inside the project. After that we want to change the directory to the dir, right? But if you observe this, the dir is our last working directory, right? The dir is the last working directory, and my current working directory is the user home directory. In that case, you can use the cd space hyphen. This cd space hyphen will take you through the last working directory and current working directory. It toggle between the whatever the directory you last time worked and whatever the directory you are currently working. Let's hit it. See, this is my last working directory, right? Now this time this is my current working directory. Again I want to go to my last working directory. Again I use cd. It will log in between the last working directory and current working directory. See, and also you can use up and down navigation keys. Then it will give you the last using commands. The short way. Last using commands. See, let's say I'm using mkdir. After that, use, if you want to see what are the commands or what are the options you have, just use command and double tap it. When you use the double tap, it will give you the list of options. Okay, these are the command. I can start with the mkdir, mkd. Okay, tab will help you to auto complete your commands and the files and directories. Let's say here I have this project. Okay, I have only the one directory is the project. I want to go inside this p. I just specified p. Use the tab. It will auto complete your command. Okay, you have only one directory with that name. It will auto complete. Let's say I am creating one more directory. This time I am using the capital K. Okay, this is the capital K project. So the two directories with the same name is created. The two directories with the same name is created. But what is the difference between these two? How it is allowed to create the same directory in the same working directory? The reason is the directory which is started with the capital letter. Here it is. It is the small letters. Linux is the case sensitive. First thing. Let's say I want to move to project directory, but I am not specified which project directory I want to move. I just specified the P. When I use the autocomplete, when I use the tab, it will autocomplete the command. This time, is it autocompleted this one, right? But why it is not autocompleted this one? Because yes, it is a small p. We specified the small p. Linux is a case sensitive. In the place of small, if you specify the capital, it won't take. P. This time it is capital P. But capital P, along with the capital P, we have various options, right? We have various files and directories. If you have only one directory or one file with that name, directly it will autocomplete. But let's see. Here the file which is started with the capital P. Here also the file which is started with the capital P. Here also which is started with the capital P. So in that case, it will give you the options. When you use the tab, it will give you the options. Okay. We want to go inside this project. After that, what is the next letter? R. You have only in the project we have the R, right? In the picture or in the public, do we have the R smaller? No, right? Project. Just specify the R and yes. Clear. Okay. Let's say before we created one file. As of now, we don't have any content inside this file. I just want to add one or two lines content. Okay. I just want to add one or two lines content. To add one or two lines content, we are using cat command. Cat and the redirection sign and specify your file name. See, in the command line, you can add your content. Whatever the content you want, you can add. This is new file. Okay. After that, see, in this line, you added the content. I want to save these changes on this file. After that, just hit enter. And in the blank field, press Ctrl D to save the changes. Okay. Press Ctrl D to save the changes. So this time, we have the content inside this file. To read the content inside this file, we are using cat. Again, cat. Along with the cat, if you specified only file name, it will display you the content. It will display the content. But if you want to add any content, we are using redirection sign. With the same cat, You can use the redirection sign. Okay. See, when we created this file 1830, right? But whenever you modified the files, it will update the timestamp on that file. Whenever you modify it, it will update the timestamp. Let's see the date and time. Now the time is 38. Let's wait one more minute. Okay, now let's see the time is 39. My file last modified is 737. Okay, but my requirement is I want to update the timestamp on this file. Okay, I want to update the timestamp on this file. Let's assume this is the old file. This file is created somewhere else 1 month back. Okay, I want to update the timestamp. So one way is you can modify that file, but you don't have any requirement to modify that file. You can use touch command to update the timestamp on that file. Okay, touch and the file name. Hit ls. See, without modifying the content, you can update the timestamp on that file without modifying the content. So what is the command to read a content inside that file? Cat. Okay. Now this time I want to add one more line inside this file. Okay, see, but the very first time when you use the redirection sign, okay, this time also I'm using the same one. Observe this, you have already existing content. This is the new file. This time I'm adding, this is new web server, new web server. Okay, I'm just added this content. You just go with the cat. Is it displaying only one line, right? But you have the previous content. What about that content? When you use the single redirection sign, single greater than sign, it will overwrite the content inside that file. It means if you have any existing content, it will remove that content and it will add the new content inside that file. But our requirement is without overwriting the existing content, I just want to add the new line. Okay. Without modifying the existing one, I just want to add new one. That's it. In that case, you can use double greater than sign. This greater than sign, we are calling it as redirection sign. Just hit enter. See, here you can add new line. Nginx load balancer. I just added this line. Just go with the cat this time. Cat. See, is it added the new line without overwriting the existing line? Right? It's added the new line. Okay. I just want to see the number of lines. You can use cat -n file name. Then it will give you the number lines. Just attach the numbers to that lines. Okay. But just observe this. If you use the cat command, you can able to read the content inside your current terminal. This is my current terminal, right? Terminal means what? What is terminal? If you want to
Text
see
based
your current, sorry,
terminal means it is text based.
okay, text based.
Commands.
Terminal is a text based command line interface. So with help of the terminal, user can able to control his system. One way is in the graphical user interface. However, you are working your Windows, the Mac, the same way. The second way is from the terminal, you can control your system. But in the terminal, user is passing all his commands in the text user interface. This is your current using terminal. See, your terminal is on physical device. Just observe this. Your terminal is one physical device. That will be stored inside this dev directory. If you see here, as of now, here I am showing 0. It is the first terminal. PTS means pseudo type terminal. If any user is logged in the system, your system will assign one terminal to that user. Let's say, let me check any other user is there in my system. Okay, what I forgot the password of this user. Let me reset. Okay, this time I want to log into that Psyk user. Okay, so search Psyk at the rate IP of your server. Now we are logging to Psyk user, right? Just type TTY. See, in this time, what is the terminal number? 1. Because any user is logged in his system, your system will assign one terminal to that user. If the user is logged in with the SSH connectivity, then only your system will assign the terminal. Just understand that. Whenever the user is logged in the system with the SSH connection, then only your system consider, okay, this is the new user, we want to assign one new terminal to that user. In case, if you are using su command, switch user, right? Su command to change the user, your system won't allocate any terminal to that user. Because in from the current user already it's assigned one terminal. From this user you are just changing the user. Okay. So then in that case the terminal is the same. It does not allocate the new terminal. You'll just change the username. That's it. So is it allocated the new terminal to this user? Right? PT1. Likewise, if you log in n number of users, it will allocate n number of terminals. Let me log out. If you take the multiple SSH connections, you can open multiple terminals. Yeah. Let's see. I am in the root user, right? The current user terminal is 0. 0. Okay. Let me log into the root. One minute, guys. P.3. Just type TTY. Is it allocated the new terminal? User is the same. See, you can log in with a single user n number of terminals. Okay. Let's say where we created the project. Are you able to see that? Right? For one connection, your system will allocate one terminal. You can log in the n number of terminals with the same user. That is not restricted. Okay, as of now, we created the files, we created the directories, right? And we also seen the long list of the files and directories. This time, I want to create some 5 directories, or I want to create some 10
Try one
directories.
small query. Actually, cat we can view the file right inside the file, and cat get written and we can edit inside. But we have more command also, right? More also we can view the detail of the file.
We can view, see that will come, that will come. Just wait. Okay,
Oh,
this chapter will go in next 2 days. Just be patient. So see, I don't have any content inside this directory. I want to create some files, different files, or I want to create some different directories. In that case, let's say I just want to create some different files. I'm taking the file name as dir1, and also I'm taking the directory name as boss, and I'm taking the next one prod service repo. See, this is the command. This command will help you to create the directories, right? See here I specified different names with the space. With the space I specified different names. So if you just hit the enter, it will create these 5 directories in your current directory. See, is it created? It's created, right? It's created these 5 directories in your current directory. The same as use the touch. Just want to create, I want to create file.txt or I want to create file.pdf. Different names. If you are the different names, then you can use the space in between the files or directories. See, is it created the 2 files at a time? This time I want to create some 50 files in the sequence, like file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4 up to file 50. These are in the sequence, right? The file name is the file. Those file name is in the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 50. In that case, you can use special signs, these brackets, close brackets. Okay, specify the number, how much you want. Just take the 50. I'm just taking as 50. Just hit enter. See, in between these range, dot represent the range from 1 to 20. Then it will allocate the file names as file 1, file 2, file 3. Let's say you want to create from 20 to 50. You want to give the file names from 20 to 50. In that case, in the place of 1, just specify the 20. Hit enter. Is it created that files? It's created these files, right? Okay. Let's say this time I want to remove this directory service. I want to remove this service directory. To remove the directory, we are using rmdir. Rmdir and specify your directory. Okay, just hit enter. See, is it removed? The service directory is removed, right? Rmdir and the directory name. So this time I am taking the directory name as false. I want to remove this directory. Just hit enter. Is it removed? This time I want to remove this dir. Okay, I want to remove this dir. Use rm dir and dir. Just observe this. Okay, this is the blank directory. It's removed. Let me create one directory. See, inside this prod, I have a directory called dd. This is a directory I created inside this prod. This time, I just want to remove this prod. Use the same command rmdir and the prod. Fail to remove. Prod directory not empty. Well, with help of rmdir, you can only remove the empty directory. If you have any content inside that, you cannot remove. We don't allow you to remove. In that case, we can use the various options along with this rm. Okay. Let me use one of the options. Rm space hyphen r. Hyphen r means recursively. And specify your directory name, directory or file, whatever it is. But when you specified hyphen r, when you specified the recursive, before we going to delete the files or directories, okay, it will take the confirmation from the user. They're asking you for the confirmation for the user. If you want to remove, just specify yes. Okay, then it will delete the files and directories one by one in a sequence. Okay, see, first it try to remove this prod. After that, it will ask you to remove this dd. This dd is stored inside this prod. Yes. See, after that, it is asking you to delete this prod, right? It's removed. First, it will remove the files and directories inside this dd. After that, it will remove the files and remove this file prod. If you hit the ls, the prod is exit, right? Let's say if you have the files and directories, it is asking you the confirmation to remove. But I don't want to give any confirmation. Directly I want to remove that file. If you observe this repo, inside this repo, we have file 1, file 2, file 3. If I use rmdir, it won't allow you to remove. Use rm-r, okay, it will take you to the confirmation. It will delete the files in a sequence one by one. But I don't want to give the confirmation for each file and directory. I just want to remove the file and directory at a time. In this case, we are using rm space -rf. -rf means forcefully. Open the door. Okay. Forcefully. Just specify the direct name. See, this time without asking any confirmation, is it removed? It's not removed. It's removed. Repo is removed, right? Removed. See, this time we have all the files in a sequence. The same command will work to your files. rm -f file. See, when I use the tab for autocomplete, it is completing up to the file. Because after that you have the number of options which one you want to select. Okay, I just want to select one. Is it removed this file one? Let me add the content inside that file one. Sorry, file two, because file one is removed. Okay, we have some content inside this file two. We have some content. Just use the rm-f file two. Is it removed? We have the content or it is an empty file. This command will work for the both. Okay, or if you want to use, you can use the recursive option. Here also you can use the recursive option. I just want to remove the file 3. See, but when you use the recursive option, is it taking you through the confirmation? Specify yes. Is it removed? Let's say if I use the recursive, it's taking the confirmation, but after that whether it is the deleted or not, how we should know that? For that I am using the v means verbose. You can use this option anywhere. You can use this verbose option anywhere. So it will just give you the information. Sorry, it's removed. What type of information it will give? Before, if you use the -r, it will take you through the confirmation. After that, it will display you the message. After deletion, it will just display you the message. See, removed file 4. File 4 is removed. So the directory is also same. File 5. Right? But I have these many files here. So if I delete the one by one, it will take you through the so much time. If you observe this, these all files in a sequence. Let's say I want to remove the files from 20 to 50. Okay, so in that case I am using forceful option. When I use the forcefully, it is not going to take the any confirmation. Directly it will remove. File, specify the characters. What is the range? From which range you want to delete? 20 to 50. Just it. Is it removed? Is it removed, right? Likewise, you can remove the files. Suppose along with this, you can use some special characters also. You can use some characters. Let's say inside this directory, I want to remove all the files and directories. All files and directories. If you use the rm-r or anything, you should specify the file or directory name. But I don't want to specify any file or directory. I just want to remove everything. In this case, you can use hashtag. The star will remove all the files. If you use the rm-r star, it will remove all the files and directories. Just go with the ls. Do you have any content here? We don't have any content. right? Now what is the command to change the home directory?
CD.
Let's say here I have one configuration file, anaconda-case.ch. If I use the cat command to read the content inside this file, it will display you the information inside my current terminal. Okay, here you can use the scroll to read the content, right? But if you observe this, here we have some lines with the space, right? I want to add the line numbers, use -n and the file name. For the space also, it is adding the line numbers, right? But I don't want to add the line numbers for the space. In that case, you can specify -b. See, in this case, is it removed the line numbers for the space? It's added the line numbers only for the lines. Only for the content, it is added the line numbers. With help of cat command, you can able to read the content inside your current terminal. Let's say this time I want to read the content in different prompt. In that case, you can use less. Okay, less. If you use the less command, okay, it will open the content in a different prompt. It is not your current using terminal. Here you can use your navigation keys to read the content line by line. Let's see, I just want to read the current setup. I can able to read. After that, I want to read the next line. Next line. You can use up and down navigation keys to read the content line by line. Okay. If you want to quit from this, Q. And also you can use the more command as well. This more command also display the content in a different prompt. Okay. Different prompt. But it will show you the percentage. In the less, it won't give you the any percentage. But here in more, it will display you the percentage. If you want to quit, just use Q. Okay. See this time, my system name is something repos I1 server. That is my system name. I want to change that name. Okay. I want to change that name. So you just this name we can call it as a host name. Probably in your system you can see this is the local host. The very first time you created, it will add the local host. If you are not accessing any host name to your system, it's just given the local host. Okay. I want to see the host name of my system. I want to see my system. Just use host name. When you use the host name, it will just display you the your server name. Along with the server name, I want to see the some more information. In that case, use host name CTL. When you use the host name CTL, okay, it will give you the host name and some other information of your virtual machine. See the static host name. You can use the host name. One is you can use the temporary host name, and another one you can use the static host name. But what is the difference here? Let's say I want to change the host name of my system. As of now, the host name is repos-server. This is my host name. Let me change host name CTL. Host name CTL. I'm just specifying the host name as web server. Sorry, host name CTL. Host name. Host name. Just host name. Just hit the host name. Is it changed the host name? Before it's repo. See, here it will affected after the reboot. After the reboot, or if you want to affect immediately, just log out and log in again. See, here it is reflected. Okay. If you want to reflect to your current terminal, just log out and log in again. See, immediately it will reflect. If I use the host name, is it changed the host name? But this is the temporary host name. Because after the reboot, again it will come to the repositories server. Because this is the static host name. If you see this here, The static host name is set as repository-server. This is the permanent one. If I change the host name with help of host name command, this is the temporary one. After the reboot, this host name no longer available in your system. Again, the host name, the static host name is applicable to my system. Transist host name. See, this is your temporary host. Icon name, computer VM, and cache, mission ID, boot ID, virtualization, operating system. These all are the information of your current environment, virtual environment. Because your virtual machine is inside the virtual environment. Okay, who is the provider? VirtualBox is the provider. How we can change it permanently? To change it permanently, we are using hostname CTL. Okay, set hyphen hostname. Hostname CTL set hyphen hostname and specify the hostname here. And just try to understand this. Whenever we are specifying the static hostname, we are taking the hostname from the FQDN. We are giving the hostname as FQDN, fully qualified domain. Let's say, let's assume this is my production server. I just want to add the hostname prod server dot lab dot example dot com. So in my company, in my organization, we are using the domain as lab dot example dot com. This is my FQDN domain. Okay. Anything we want to search inside my organization, we are using this FQDN. But what about this? This prod dot server. This prod dot server is my host name. Just hit enter. Just use host name. See? Is it displaying the host name? This entire thing, the host name is only prod server is the host name. See guys, just understand this. This entire line is the FQDN, fully qualified domain. Okay, in this prod server is my host name. This entire thing is a FQDN. In this, what is the host name? Only the prod server is my host name. But what about this lab.example.com? This is the search domain inside my organization. As of now, we have only one server. If you have the number of servers, let's say you have the somewhere around 10 servers. You assign the name as prod 1, prod 2, prod 3. You want to search that server from the with the server name. In that case, we can use prod1 server.lab.example. If your DNS is working, in that case only. Sorry. Clear about this? To avoid the changes, just log out and log in again. Then it will affect those changes. See, if you observe this, here the files starting with the dr hyphen. Some files starting with the B. Some files starting with the B. The file which is started with the B, that is a block device file. Okay, that is a black device file. It means that is a hardware file. Your hardware information, everything will be stored in the form of file in the system. Let's say you have the 10 GB of hard disk. As a user, that is the hard disk for you, but as a system, that is just one file. Remember that. Everything will be stored in the form of files. As a user, for you only, that is a hard disk that you have the 10 GB of size. But as per your system, that is just one file. For identify, that is a black device file. The file which is started with the B, that is a black device file.